strengthen this chair.
Good morning, and we want to welcome you to Breakfast with the Greenes. We're your hosts. I'm James Greene.
And I'm Cynthia Greene, and we're founders of Marriage Built to Last. And we are
America's favorite couple.
Yes.
Right, so we want to welcome you this morning to, this is the first Saturday in March. So we want to welcome you to a new month.
Yes, happy March.
And as March comes, we know the seasons change and times have changed, and we're going to a new season. So now it's time to level up. It's time to evolve. So we don't know if you know about this, but this month is about Black marriages. You know, the end of this month is National Black Marriage Day. Yes. So that's what we're going to be talking about this month, about Black marriages, why Black marriages matter, the whole gambit. So we want you to go to the bottom of the screen and hit the share button, because trust me, there's a lot of couples out there that need to know why marriages matter, especially Black marriages. So all you have to do is go to the bottom of the screen and hit the share button, or you can start a watch party. People like to watch what you're watching. You know, a watch party starts a chain reaction of people looking at what you're looking at and what they're looking at and what they're looking at, if you know what I'm saying. So that's what you got to do. All you have to do is go to the bottom of the screen, hit the share button, or start a watch party.
Yes, you guys. So like James said, this month our theme is Black marriages matter, because they do. And then our topic for today is why Black marriages matter. So we're going to be talking about those two areas. But this morning we want to know, where are you tuning in from? Where are you tuning in from, and are you married? Because we know we get a lot of single people watching this show, right? Y'all trying to learn. I know. I don't blame you. I did the same thing. But yeah, so let us know where you're tuning in from, and tell us if you're married or if you're single, or you might be engaged or seriously dating. Like, we want to know what category you fall in, right? So you guys.
And I got a little distracted because of the dog. It was under my feet, and I had to make her go lay down. So she wasn't.
Keep talking, baby.
She wanted to be included in this. So yes. So we know at the end of this month is National Black Marriage Day. So, and we.
No, actually, it's on March 21st.
Okay.
National Black Marriage Day is always the third Sunday in March.
Yes.
Third Sunday in March. Did y'all know there was a National Black Marriage Day? Like, did anybody know that? Like, this is our 4th year recognizing National Black Marriage Day, and it was actually started by Lisa Muhammad, who we're trying to find. If anybody knows Lisa Muhammad, let us know. We're trying to reach out to her to be a part of what we're doing, because this is something she created. We didn't create it, but we did create Black Marriages Matter Annual Symposium, and this year will be our 4th annual conference, you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can jump right in.
Go ahead.
And why do Black marriages matter? First of all, let me say all marriages matter.
That's right.
Let me not take that away. Marriages matter, but especially Black marriages. Black marriages definitely matter. Why? Because think about it. You know, they talk about, and everyone knows about Black Lives Matter. Everyone knows about that. And we know that the racial divide is in this country.
Yeah.
So for us to be a stronger community, a stronger family, that's why Black marriages matter.
So I want to just tell you guys.
Because let me just say this first. Because when you think about it, when you have children, you know, and we know how a lot of our young blacks, a lot of blacks, period, are getting killed, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, maybe let me just say this: if you have strong marriages, you know, you can instill in your children the way things should be. I'm not saying that, you know, everybody's not, but you can instill it in your children. You know, when you come across certain racial divides, certain lines, you know, maybe you need to know how to act and how to be, you know, so things won't happen. So things don't escalate. Let's just say that.
So I want to tell you guys too why we are talking about Black marriages matter. So the message that we want to get across is that marriage makes a difference in, like James is saying, building strong families and building strong communities, which strong communities help build our economy. So that's why marriages matter. But it matters in the Black community because We need stronger communities, and we need a stronger economy. Do you know that for every $100 that a white family has, that the black family only has $5? There's a big disparity. We all know there's a big disparity. We know there's a wide gap between what goes on in our communities and what goes on in their communities. I just look at, let's use an example where someone I know, they live in Bethesda. Those houses started like $1 million, but how many of us live over there? I'm just talking about in Maryland. And but when, so let's just talk about, black marriages and how we can build our wealth. Those are the things we'll talk about at the Black Marriages Matter Symposium. How we can build wealth, how we can build a stronger community, how we can build stronger families. And then the other thing too, our vision for the Black Marriages Matter Symposium is just to partner with you guys, to partner with couples, to partner with churches and community leaders and relationship thought leaders to show us how to have a stronger and better marriage.
Yeah, it made me think of
and families.
When we used to live in Anne Arundel County. I remember our pastor or maybe somebody else was telling us, you want to impact your community. And we ended up moving to Prince George's County, but we still attended a church in Anne Arundel County. And when he said that, Cynthia and I got to thinking, you're right. We should be impacting our own community.
We didn't know anybody in our neighborhood who lived for like the first 3 years. Like, we didn't know people in our neighborhood. We didn't know people in our county. It wasn't until we started going to a church in our county that we started getting to know people that surrounded us.
And we felt that why not impact our own community where we live instead of going outside to another county and impact them. That's all I'm getting across.
I kind of miss my old county. I love where I live now, but I kind of miss my old county because, I mean, let's just face it, Prince George's County is one of the wealthiest African-American communities in the United States. And so, let's just talk about that for a minute. You know what? We need some leaders from Prince George's County to be a part of the Black Marriages Matter Symposium. So reach out to us.
Right.
But let's just talk about that for a minute. Because my thing is, when you go to that wealthy black county, does it look wealthy? I'm not putting my county down. I'm not putting it down because I still claim it as mine. But does it look it? Are we really pulling together? What do we need to do to really pull together? Share with us, you guys. What can we do as a community to really pull together? When someone gets shot in some of the, I would say, I don't want to say what.
No, but
in a community.
Right, but if you look at it.
I don't want to stereotype the community.
Right.
They pull together, but it's after the fact. I like being proactive. What can we do in advance to make our community stronger, make our schools better?
And that's where I believe where the black marriages come in at.
Right.
Because as black marriages, you're actually the head of the household. And you lead that household, which you can go to that community and get involved.
Yes.
Because did you know that around 28 to 30% of black households are married or stay married as compared to 50 to 52% of whites? And that's a big difference. And you see it every day. Come on, let's be honest. You can see politicians, you can see white CEOs. If they have a scandal or anything, the wives usually stay with them. As compared to blacks, they don't. And why is that? Because I think they feel, the white women or the white marriages feel that we can build wealth, like Cynthia said, build wealth together better than we can alone. That's why it's important, because we always say, if you're affecting the family, you're affecting the community, and the community affects the economy.
So tell us, you guys, why do you think black marriages are important, or even just marriage in general? Why do you think marriage is important, and why do you think we're focusing on black marriages? We've already really told you why we're focusing on black marriage. Well, first of all, because we're black. Secondly, because we care about our black community and our black families, and we care about marriage overall. But why is marriage important? Marriage is important because God designed it.
That's right.
God designed it for a reason, because he knew we need each other. We need stability. It causes stability.
And when we talk about God's design, we're talking about one man and one woman.
That's right.
Let's be clear on that when you talk about God's design for marriage.
Right. And so God knew he said in the very beginning that it's not good for man to be alone. Doesn't mean you can't be alone and be successful. Doesn't mean everybody's going to get married, need to get married. He said that in the word too. But he did know that in order for Adam to till that land and take care of all the animals, the birds and all that, he needed some help. So he created him a helpmate. He created Eve. So God knew that you two, and the Bible says two can accomplish way more than one, right? So
one can defeat 1,000, two can defeat 10,000.
10,000. There you go.
So what does that tell you? That tells you the two of you are stronger together. And I think, say, other races probably see that we're stronger together than we are apart.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, let me see. Oh, let me find my notes here. So it was one of the things that I wrote down, and I did take some notes, is that other races think about what's best for their family, what's best for their community before they make decisions. Like, you know, the Jewish communities pull together and they build their stores in their community. They hire their people to work in their places, their jobs, their communities. They hire their family and their law firms and all of this stuff. And whites do the same thing. So, you know, what we want to see more of is our black folks to build more in our communities and hire our own people and build the wealth right there in our own community. And I'm going to read some comments and plug up our tablet because the battery says low.
Right. And that's what it's all about, impacting our community. You know, because if you live in a black community, why not? And they say married couples usually do more community events, community activities than single, because you're showing your family, look, we live in this community, well, why not affect our community? And that's what it's all about. It's about affecting your community where you live as a family, to show a strong family, to show a strong unit, to show you're together as one.
Right. And then one thing that James and I found in our research is that a strong marriage creates a strong family. I mean, today they said less and less people are getting married, and not just because of COVID, but even before COVID, less and less young people are getting married. And they're getting married, people who do get married a little older than they used to. Mm-hmm. And then when I ask people, you know, or when people are having problems in their marriage, they say, well, we never saw any good examples of marriage around us growing up.
Right.
For
so
30 years, you never saw any good marriages around you. So next week, we're going to talk about why stay married, right? But, you know, and then they'll say, well, what's the purpose in getting married? You know, because they saw people not getting along married. They never saw any great reason to be married. So they're like, well, why get married? We can just live together. We can just be girlfriend, boyfriend. It doesn't matter. But there are serious reasons why marriage is important and why you should get married. Why marriage? Because first of all, God designed it. Second of all, it brings stability into the family, into the home. Right. And thirdly, thirdly, we just talked about it. Oh my gosh, you made me lose my train of thought.
But anyway, we're talking about, like Cynthia said, when she gave those two examples, she's thinking of the third one. But when you're married, it has a long-term positive effect on each individual. Yeah. You know, just think about it. Because when you have that positive effect, because now you have a support system right there.
That's right. That's what it was. I was going to say that you also got a partner to bring stability into the family. That is exactly what I was going to say, is that you've got a partner. You got an accountability partner. You got a partner to share things with. You got a partner to do things with. You got a partner to help you build wealth, which we'll talk about that next week also. You got a partner to do all kinds of things with, and you got some two people to help with the children.
And you know, and I like that, because did you notice when the Black Lives Matter movement and in DC, everything was going on, there was married couples taking their kids down there, taking their families to show them. And that's what it's all about. It's about to show them strong in your community, to show, you know, that we want to make change. You know, and where does that start? That starts with the married couple. That starts with the black family.
James mentioned Black Lives Matter. Thank you, babe. Because I was going to say, we are reaching out to the Black Lives Matter leaders, because we want them to be a part of the Black Marriages Matter Symposium too, because it's not just about marriage, it's about the family, it's about the community, the black family and the black community. So if you know somebody in that area, please let us know, because we want this, we really want, you know, where can you go and really find people talking about what's going on in our communities? And not just what people might call the poor communities or the bad community, but the community so-called with the money also. Like, how do we all come together? How do we all build our community? How do we make them better? You know, I take HOA for instance. I was telling, talking to somebody the other day about HOAs and how in our old community we had HOA and half the money went to attorney fees. But the
instead
HOA
of the community itself.
Instead of the community itself. Now, did they keep the community nice? Yes. But what about the communities who don't pay HOA fees? Where do they get money from to keep their communities nice? Who's responsible for cleaning up the common areas? You know, like, how can we come together to help each other?
Right.
I remember when I was in Anne Arundel County, I joined some partnership with the highway. My kids and I, we used to get out there and help clean the common areas, clean along the highway. And even in my old neighborhood, I used to take it upon myself when I go walking. If I saw trash, especially at the entry of the neighborhood, I would pick it up. I would just do it. So what do we have to do, you guys, to come together and make our marriages stronger, make our families stronger, make our community stronger? This is what we're talking about today.
Right. And that's a key because, you know, we're not saying that single parent households are bad.
No.
But you have a stronger connection when it's a married couple. You know? And
let me talk about what James just is okay.
Go ahead.
Let me talk about what James just said. I've been married, I've been single, I've been married. I know 100% it was way much easier when I was married, even when the first marriage wasn't good. But guess what? I had somebody to help pick up the kids or take the kids to daycare or to sports or wherever they get. And I know everybody doesn't get that help. Come on, y'all. Let's just be real here. Everybody doesn't get that help from their spouse. I had somebody else to help pay the bills. I had somebody else to help put gas in my car or wash my car or whatever that may look like. I had help. And so it makes a difference, married versus single. When I was a single mom, I didn't, for a long time, I didn't struggle. I did great. I bought a house while I was single. But then there came a point where I lost my job and I was struggling. I was single. Had I had a husband, especially who was employed, I may not have struggled like that.
Right. And that's what it's about. It's about, you know, and we know if you can easily overcome the struggle, but let's be real. Let's be honest. Isn't it easier when the two of you chip in together and work together as a unit, as one? To make things work, to make things better for your family, better for, you know, your way of living, better for your life.
Oh, we got some comments on here. Oh, okay. So Sharon Parker said, impact your own community first. Yes.
That's right.
And then she says, maybe someone needs to face the fact that there's a fear factor in our communities and people are not talking to one another like they used to. Maybe it's because of COVID-19, maybe other cultures. Right. This happened. This been going on way before COVID. But I get your point, Sharon.
Definitely, because we know even before COVID, families just aren't talking to their neighbors like they used to. You know, when they come outside and have, I remember back in the day, we used to have community block parties and everyone will come out and you knew who lived where. Yes. And you wanted to impact your whole community, you know, as each family, you know, but now they just don't do that.
We should do a block party this summer.
You know, people just don't talk to their, talk to their neighbors now to try to impact their community.
And then we also have Dennis Biddle on here, old friend from back home. Dennis says money must circulate amongst its own cultural community. Right. And then he says those ethnicities didn't go through 400 years of slavery. You're absolutely right. But Dennis, when do we stop allowing slavery to affect our mindset? Right. When do we stop allowing slavery to be the foundation of how we build?
Because it says in Romans, we're renewed by the change of
our
minds.
That's right. That's right.
So we have to change our mindset. Right. You know, I always talk about.
Our God said we can have anything above and beyond what we can ever think or ask.
And I always talk about, and I do talk about mindset a lot. Where is your mind? What are you thinking about? You know, are you thinking about your community? Are you thinking about your marriage? Are you thinking about how to build up where you live? Are you thinking about how to impact the children in your community? Because trust me, there are some, say, children, let's go with young black males who may come from a single family household with just a mother. Do they have a positive role model, male role model in their life who can educate them, who can help you steer them in the right direction? I mean, you see it all day on the news. You know, you'll see cops shooting young blacks. You see young blacks maybe committing crimes, you know, and I'm not saying it's from where, how they were raised, but I'm saying, do they have a positive male role model in their life to steer them and lead them in the right direction? That's how you can impact your community. That's one way. Even if you're a single man, you can seek out, you go to the community center, you can seek out young children, male, female, and help steer them in the right way, especially if you've been through something. You always say we overcome by our testimony. Just think of what you've been through and how you came through it and where you are now. Just think you can educate some young brother or sister that way and say, look, I've been there. Here's what I've done. Here's how I overcame it.
Right. And I also, don't want to negate what Dennis was saying, but at the same time, I've never built my life, or my life has been based on what happened 400 years ago.
Right.
Matter of fact, what happened 400 years ago just made us stronger. I mean, we have come a long way. We can go to any school we want to. We do get degrees just like anybody else. We do get the jobs like anybody else. We can buy the house like anybody else. We can buy the plane ticket like anybody else. Mm-hmm. We can go to any island, any place, any hotel, anywhere we want to go if that's where we want to focus on and put our money at.
Right.
So there's nothing that we cannot do anymore as far as luxuries or entertainment or enjoyment or whatever these days. But when it comes to our own communities, why is it that we want to blame it on slavery? We don't blame it on slavery when we jump on that airplane and go to Aruba. We don't blame that on slavery.
And let's say this, we're talking about why black marriages matter, black marriages period. But just think of the relationship part first. You have to build that relationship. Even if you're single and you want to impact your community, the first thing you have to do is build that relationship
with the people in your community.
Exactly. First you have this relationship. No, first you have this relationship with God.
But
once you establish that, then you can make this relationship stronger.
That's
right. You can build this relationship. Then you can take this relationship and go out there and build a relationship in your community. It's all about relationships. Who are you contacting? Who are you, we talk about entrepreneurs. Who are you collaborating with? You're building a relationship.
And the same thing with marriages.
Exactly.
You can build collaborations in your community with other couples and say, what can we do to make sure our kids are safe?
Right.
What can we do to make sure our communities are safe and make sure our communities look great?
There's times when you can live in a community and you can say, when I come home at night, it's too dark. Maybe we need a street light here. So what do? You go and petition for a street light on that corner in that neighborhood so you can see at night. It's about building that relationship. It's about making your community a better place to be.
That's so true.
And safer. Let's be honest.
That's so true. So we told you about why marriage is important, because God designed it that way and he said it is good. And he knows what we need to have a better world, because he gave us instructions. Mm-hmm. The other reason, also, I don't think we mentioned this, is because God puts the two of you together for a purpose, just like he put Adam and Eve together for a purpose. He told Adam he needed a helpmate. Help for what? For the assignments that he gave him. So when you've got you're married, you got somebody to help you with your assignments. You got somebody to help you with the job duties that you have to do. You have a purpose for being together. And then also why black marriages, because we want to see our kids see strong marriages. We want to see them see strong families. We want to see them see a great community. We want to see less crime in our community. We want to see more beauty in our communities. We want to see our communities out there happy and doing wonderful things together. And we're not always on the news with negative things.
And I think
y'all. I get passionate about
what
this.
What we really want to do is level the playing field.
Yes.
Let's be honest, because trust me, it's not level right now. Everything going on. You'll see race relations. You'll see how everything is. Let me just take. How about when they attacked the Capitol? Could you imagine if that was the Black Lives Matter people out there and they rushed the Capitol? What would have happened?
Oh Lord.
And they would have.
Oh Lord.
And
he's looking out the window, y'all. He sees something out there.
And what would have happened? Hold on, go ahead, baby. Talk.
Oh my goodness gracious! Close that door so she can't look out the window. She just sees somebody walking outside, but trust me, she doesn't attack anybody. But you guys, James and I, we are passionate about marriages because we talk to couples all the time. We both have had a bad marriage, And we both know what it is to have an awesome and an amazing marriage. And we want to see all couples have an awesome and an amazing marriage. And then we want our kids to see couples having really great marriage. We want our kids to want to get married. Right. We want our kids to be excited about getting married. We want our kids to have the right tools to have a great marriage. And so, they can do that by seeing your marriage be great, or seeing a lot of marriages out there be great. I'm not just going to close the door so she can go in there.
I thought there's nothing out there.
I know, but can you just close the door, please?
Come on.
I don't know why he went out there and didn't close the door. I mean, that was the whole point, right? But you guys, we want to see more success in our marriages and in our families and in our communities. And the only way we can do that is to build strong marriages. That's why marriage. That's why Black marriages. And next week we're going to talk about why marriages. Stay married?
And the key is, when you talk about Black marriages, just think, it allows the children to see that positive marriage, to see that positive and say, you know what? That's what I want. That's how I want when time goes on. Because trust me, nobody ends up really wanting to be alone. So what better way than to see a positive couple, especially a positive Black marriage, and say, okay, that's what I want to emulate. That's what I'd like to have. So it's about you being a good role model. Yes. If you have a good Black marriage, you can be a role model to some young millennial or even younger than that and say, you know what? I see how they are, and that's what I want. Especially doing things together, building that the wealth, building the community, doing things like that together.
Right. So you guys, tell us why you think it's important to have strong Black marriages.
Right.
Like, why is that important? Why does it matter? We've given you some reasons. Tell us your reasons. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why marriage matters and why Black marriages matter. Mm-hmm. And the last week of this month, we're going to tell you how to succeed in marriage, how you can really succeed in marriage, how you can succeed in your family, how you can succeed in your community. But we're just right now talking about why even get married. And everybody likes to talk about the D word, right? But do you know that when you have a good, strong, solid marriage and solid family, that D word goes down, the statistics go down.
And that's what we're trying to do. Lower that.
We're trying to do.
Lower that
exactly
statistic.
What we're trying to do. Yeah.
Because we don't even bring it up. We don't even say nothing. The D word in our household.
Yeah, we don't use that word. That's a bad word. That's a bad word.
See, and all of this is doing is leading us back to what we talk about, where if you have positive Black marriage, you're now the totally confident couple. And that's something Cindy and I always talk about.
Yes, we have deemed 2021 the year of the totally confident couple. That's our theme for all of 2021, because y'all, we get tired of people focusing on the negative side of marriage. We're focusing on the positive side of marriage and the couples this year. We're talking about that other 50%
that people don't talk about.
Yeah, people love to talk about the 50% that get the D word.
That's why I'm not getting married. That's why I'm not going to do it, because you look at 50%, they end up separating anyway. Well, how about that other 50%?
That's right. So we are focusing.
And what are they going to say when that 50% comes 60%? Wow, now 60% of the people are staying married.
That's right.
Now what are they going to say? Oh, now I want to get married?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so we are talking about the 50% who stay married, who love being married, who got a happy marriage, who got a successful marriage. But even those who sacrifice to stay married, they're fighting for their marriage.
And what do I always say? Sacrifice leads to success. So sometimes you're going to have to make a sacrifice, because you got to remember, when you get married, especially Black marriage, it's not about you anymore. It's not about all your decisions that you make. Now you got to think about the two of you. Your decisions affect the other person. Your decisions affect your mate.
That's right.
So what decisions are you making? Now you got to think about the two of you. It's not just about me.
That's right. So you guys, what can we do to support you? What can we do to support? We're willing to come out to the communities, to the churches, to the community centers or whatever, to talk to you about why people should be married, why Black marriages matter, and how it can help our families, how it can help our communities, how it can help our economy. Let's talk about it. It's just about a conversation. Mm-hmm. But that's why we have the Black Marriages Matter Symposium. We're hoping to have it from now on, and we hope some other people will pick up and start having some recognizing National Black Marriage Day. So that those are the ways that we can open up the eyes of our communities. That's the way we can start having conversations about what we can do to have better marriages and families and communities.
And this is just the tip of it. Talk about it today. When we talk about the symposium, and we're going to talk about it for every Saturday for the month of March, about not only Black Marriages Matter, but about how you can build wealth, but about the health reasons. You just think back in the day. Maybe your grandparents or somebody like that. Boy, grandparents, they seem to have been together for 50 years.
Not my family.
but a lot of them are though. And why? Because they know the benefit of it. And that's what we're going to be talking about during this month. The benefit of Black marriages and why Black marriages matter. The health benefits, the financial benefits, all the benefits. We talk about the economy.
The relationship benefits. All of that. All of that. So thank you guys for joining us today. We really appreciate it. We hope that you got something out of it. Continue to let us know all month why Black marriages matter. Because they do, you guys. They do.
And if you're married and you're Black, tell me why you think your marriage matters.
Oh, that's a good one, babe. Yes.
Because we can say, I'm Black and I'm married. Why does our marriage matter? How are we benefiting the community? How are we benefiting the economy?
Our families.
Our families.
That's right.
Why does your marriage matter?
That's really interesting because I think about when our family get on our family call on Sundays. My parents had 5 kids, 4 still living. 3 of us are married. We have husbands. We have kids. And when we get on our family call, it's the husband and wife. It's our kids. They're seeing the family come together. They're seeing strong Black marriages. They're seeing strong Black families. Like my kids are adults and they always get on the call.
And what I like about it is that your mother says she looks forward to this call.
Yes, she does.
She looks forward to talking to her children and her son-in-laws, whatever the case may be. She looks forward to it. And that's what we're talking about.
And so does my kids, especially my son.
Right.
He's always on there. He's a millennial.
So is it impactful for our children? Yes. Is it impactful for our parents? Yes.
Absolutely.
So we're telling you now why our marriage, we feel as Blacks, matter.
And why our marriage that's right. Why our marriage matter? Because we see it making a difference in our family. We see it making a difference with our kids. We even see it making a difference in our community because guess what? God put us on the path to help marriages.
Right.
So we see the results that we get when we work with couples. I mean, we see some awesome results. I'm talking sometimes after meeting with them 2 or 3 times, sometimes after the first time. Right, babe? Recently, we saw results after the first time of doing coaching account.
We just want to be impactful for the Black marriage.
That's right.
We just want to encourage Black marriage. We just want to tell people why your marriage matters, why it's important.
And I want to say, Sharon Parker is watching this broadcast, and Sharon Parker is all about the Black community.
That's right.
She is all her organization, ROSA. Oh my gosh, I know what ROSA stands for. Sharon, you can type it in the group. Tell people about ROSA. But she's all about the Black community and trying to help our communities to grow and to thrive and to be all of this to be. And she said, awesome points, the Greenes, about slavery. We need to change the name to address institutional, economic, and social divide, the impact Black marriages, the impact of Black marriages. Oh, thank you. She said, James Greene and Cynthia Greene, you both are doing a great job. Keep up the good work you do to strengthen the marriages. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. And, of course, all the work that you do in the community. Sharon is doing a lot. I mean, like, she is on the battlefield, helping people to recognize their heritage and why that heritage is important. Come on, we're going to be heritage one day. Where you are in your marriage right now is your legacy. Right. That's another reason why Black marriages are important, why marriage is important. Because you're going to be the heritage one day. 100 years from now, your great-greats are going to still be talking about what their great-grandparents did.
And we may talk about it, say, in the coming weeks, but about leaving a legacy. That's what I was going to say. It's about building up Black leaders. And how do you build up Black leaders? You have to have that positive influence on the young Blacks to raise up leaders. You know, and what better way to do that? Build a relationship. What better way to do that than a black marriage? Your children. You don't know, you could be entertaining black leaders right now with your children and don't realize it. But they're looking at you, they're looking at your marriage and say, you know what? I can make a difference.
That's right.
I can impact the nation.
That's right.
You never know how you may be raising up black leaders as a black family, as a black marriage, and them just seeing that what you're portraying has an impact on them, on their lives.
Absolutely. And Sharon, I see Sharon wrote what ROSA stands for. Sharon, you can put how people can find out more about ROSA too. Type your website or your Facebook page or something.
Right.
But she said ROSA stands for Remembering Our Ancestors Synergistic Association. And so, yes, we got to remember our ancestors. But guess what? One day we're going to be the ancestors that people are talking about. What are they going to say about your ancestral history?
You know, because let me tell you, I remember talking to my aunt who passed away. She was 93 at the time. And I was asking her, how did we get to where
she was like 91 because she's 93 when she passed.
Yeah, maybe 91. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that we came from Cape Verde, off the coast of Africa. Mm-hmm. You know, it's off the coast of Africa, but it's an African country. And I said, wait, I didn't know we came from Cape Verde. I thought some other way. You know, she said, no, our ancestors were captured at Cape Verde and brought here to Maryland Eastern Shore. So how we got to Philadelphia, she didn't get a chance to tell me that. I believe it was with Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad.
That's his belief.
That's my belief.
He just want to believe he was part of the Underground Railroad.
That's right, because for one, if we were brought from Cape Verde, Africa, to Maryland Eastern Shore, how did we get to Philadelphia? We weren't free at that time. My ancestors weren't free at that time. My grandmother and grandfather. Okay. So they had to get to Philadelphia some way.
They could have got there on their own, but let them believe he came here with Harriet Tubman, y'all.
But anyway,
it's all good. But guys, okay, what was
go ahead.
No, I was going to say we appreciate you guys, your comments. We appreciate you being a part of what's written in Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 68. I'll go back and read it, Dennis, but I'm not sure what your point is, but yeah, thank you for sharing that scripture. We'll go back and read it. But we want to thank you guys for joining the broadcast. We want to thank you for your comments. We want to encourage you guys to continue working on your marriages, continue to be that example for the young people in the community and in your families, and showing them why black marriages matter. Right. Talk to them about it. You know, it's all about a conversation. Even when we're talking about our ancestors, we're talking about slavery, we got to open up those doors and have those conversations. You know, we just had a whole month about us, and we should have gotten a part of some of those Black history conversations and talk about where we are right now. Black history always tends to focus on the past, what we've done in the past. But I like this site where they were showing people today who have done things to make a difference in the Black community today. And that's what we talk about at the Black Marriages Matter Symposium. Go and get your tickets. Go to marriagebuilttolast.com/events, or just go to our website, marriagebuilttolast.com, click on upcoming events. The page is there. You can learn more about it. You can register for it. We're also going to be celebrating marriages at that event. We're going to be celebrating awesome and amazing marriages. We're going to celebrate longevity in marriage. We're going to celebrate newlyweds. We're even going to recognize engaged couples. So we want this to be a super positive event. As he says, believe in his legacy journey.
That's right. Come on.
You're right. I'll let him have that, okay? But you guys, we're gonna talk about what's going on in the Black community, but we're gonna end on a positive note. We're gonna recognize that other 50% of the couples who are doing an awesome and amazing thing. So if you are an awesome and amazing couple, you want to be at that event because you may just be one of the ones who's recognized. And if you are an awesome, amazing couple and you want to tell your story, reach out to us and you may be selected to be one of the couples who get to tell your story. Maybe your ancestral story, your legacy story about how there were great marriages in your marriages and why you still have one. We want to hear those stories. So thank you guys so much for joining the podcast. We'll be back next week to talk about part 2, why stay married. We appreciate you. We love you. Have a wonderful day. Oh, the scripture depicts why we had to go through Egypt, which means slavery or bondage a second time. Okay, right. So we went through that. And so now when they went on the other side, they went to the promised land.
Right.
Are we in the promised land, Dennis? I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say here. But the promises are there because God says, you know, he promised us a lot of things.
All the promises he made to Abraham, he made to us also.
There you go.
And we're standing on his promises.
We're standing on his promises.
If he said he can open the window and pour out a blessing that we won't have room enough to receive, come on. He wouldn't give us everything all at one time because we probably wouldn't know how to handle it.
Absolutely.
So we're standing on his promises that not only everything we ask of him, not only will he give us everything we want, he'll give us not only will he give us everything we need, he'll give us everything we want. All we gotta do is ask in his name.
Right. And then he blesses us
exactly
for unconditionally. So
all right.
We want to encourage you to stand on those promises, to
right.
believe God can help you have an amazing marriage, to believe, to know that that's what God wants for you, to know that God wants us to have strong families,
right.
to know that God wants us to have amazing communities, that he wants the black economy to be super strong. Y'all, we spend the most money. We can be the strongest community. Like Dennis said, we got to keep our money in our
right.
community. That's why, you know what, James and I, this is another reason why black marriages and how we can make our community stronger. And we'll talk about this more next week. You know, we buy black. Our doctor is a minority. Our Dennis is a minority, and our eye doctor is a minority.
Lord.
Our accountant is a minority. Our attorney is a minority.
Realtor.
Who?
Realtor.
Our realtor is a minority. We should just say all black. Everybody's black,
right.
except for our doctor is from another country. He's not Caucasian.
But not Malaysia. Somewhere
God.
like that.
Yeah.
Not the Philippines or Malaysia, but I don't know.
Somewhere like that, yes. But so we keep our money in the black community.
Right.
How many of you guys are doing the same thing? Have you even thought about that? Have you thought about, you know, making all those people you do business
mm-hmm.
with be in your black community versus going outside of your community?
So this is something in the coming weeks we're going to be talking more about.
And guess what? All of those people live in Prince George's County.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
In a black county.
In a black county. The richest black county in America.
All right.
All right, you guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week for part 2 of Why Black Marriages Matter. Register for our symposium. It's going to be fun, you guys. We're going to have a lot of great information
and
for you.
And remember, if you build it, it will last.
God bless you.
We're helping you build it the right way.